Asheville, North Carolina is a city fondly referred to as the Paris of the South for its robust culinary scene. The city is home to more than 130 independent restaurants and eateries. Although Asheville has just under 100,000 residents, nearly 11 million tourists visited Buncombe County in 2016. During the same year, tourism added nearly $3 billion to Asheville's economy. But the city's renowned restaurants also have a dark side. They generate a huge amount of waste. To understand the volume of waste produced by restaurants in Asheville and what these businesses are doing to combat their waste, I spoke with community members, employees, and business owners. Buncombe County generates over 27,800 tons of food waste each year, only 1% of which is composted. Paradoxically, 25% of Asheville's population is food insecure. Danny Keaton is the owner of Asheville's only commercial composting facility, Danny's Dumpster. Here's his take on food waste.
Well, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, we haul from 120 restaurants, and that translates to about 40 tons a week of food waste, which may sound like a lot, but I think we're barely scratching the surface when it comes to overall food waste in Asheville, because mainly we're mostly dealing with almost independently owned restaurants. So that's not even looking at chain restaurants and grocery stores and things like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if that 40 tons a week is a small percentage of what's actually produced in Asheville.
Jane Anderson, director of the Asheville Independent Restaurant Association, or AIR for short, said that most of AIR's restaurants compost with Danny's Dumpster. Anderson said she's seen Keaton's business grow in proportion to AIR restaurants. When I asked her opinion on restaurant food waste in Asheville, here's what she said.
I don't even know what to say. That's kind of a really wild question. I would say it's of concern to our restaurants.
Kat Nagiro is the head of marketing and engagement for Raleigh-based residential, office, and commercial compost pickup service, Compost Now. The business collects compost from over 500 restaurants and eateries in the Triangle area, but none from Asheville because that's Danny's territory. When I asked her if composting was cheaper than traditional garbage pickup for restaurants, here's what she said.
So much cheaper to throw away food. I want to be very clear that the people who do sign on to these services, they are paying more for that, and it's something that, because they're paying more, that's something that they value. They value what we're doing, they value composting, they see the benefits, and they're willing to pay the cost for that.
So if it is more expensive for restaurants to compost in Asheville, why do they do it? Here's Keaton again.
Yeah, in Asheville, I think it's used, a lot of restaurants, it's a marketing tool, that they advertise that they compost. So, being a more sustainable restaurant is kind of a competitive edge in Asheville. So yeah, we've continually grown and still grow.
Nagiro said she thinks more restaurants are composting their food waste due to pressure from the media and from consumers.
We really have seen an uptick in interest in the last 2 years, more so than any of the years before that. And I just think it is just this education, this consumer pressure that is, kind of leading restaurants to start composting in the restaurant, because now that recycling is so mainstream and that's something that's expected, I feel like composting is just the most logical next step in people's sustainability efforts in restaurants.
Megan Eibach is the Sustainability and Marketing Director for UNCA's Dining Services. She said that the college used to use Danny's Dumpster to pick up their food waste, but now they use South Carolina-based Atlas Organics to compost all of their back-of-house and post-consumer waste. Eibach said that UNCA diverted 81% of their total waste, including composting, recycling, and reusing, from the Buncombe County landfill in 2016. When I asked Eibach to describe restaurant food waste in Asheville, she said it was, quote, rampant, end quote. Eibach said that Dining Services calls local food donation service Food Connection to collect leftovers and distribute them to community partners to feed hungry residents. 12 Baskets Cafe is an Asheville Poverty Initiative program that operates out of Kairos West Community Center in West Asheville. It's open to the public and serves free lunch Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. 12 Baskets Community Development Specialist Emily Fox said the cafe receives a significant portion of its food from catered events and buffets, which she says there's no shortage of in Asheville. Fox said that 12 Baskets has partnered with Food Connection in the past to pick up leftovers. Indian Garden and Mela both donate food to 12 Baskets 7 days a week. The cafe also receives food from Mission Hospital, Morrison Healthcare, Whole Foods, Earth Fare, Pizza Hut, and Cheddar's Restaurant. When I asked Fox if 12 Baskets ever receives more food donations than it can handle, here was her response.
It's everywhere. We have places calling us asking to donate.
What is the actual process like for a caterer or for a restaurant to donate food to 12 Baskets?
Yeah. So if someone calls us and they're a caterer and they're like, hey, like I just did this event, we have the number on our website. They can schedule a time with us to come over and drop it off while we're open. Sometimes we have a whole network of volunteers that we can shoot a message out to and be like, hey, so-and-so has this, they need to donate to us. Who can go get it?
Restaurants and other food retailers are allowed to donate food thanks to the Bill Emerson Good Samaritan Act, established by former President Clinton in 1996. The law essentially gives immunity to these businesses. Why do you think that restaurants in Asheville would be reluctant to donate leftover food?
So honestly, food inspection, I've never heard of a food inspector educating a restaurant on the Bill Emerson Good Samaritan Food Donation Act. It's not something that places typically know is available to them as a legal protection. And so there's a lot of fear of what if, this food, what if, it's safe now, but if I give it to this volunteer who's sticking it in the trunk of their car, and then driving it, there's unknown. They lose, ability to watch the food safety of that food once they give it to our volunteers. And so, if someone eats that and gets sick, there's a lot of fear that they could get sued for that. But, the law, kind of provides that protection, as long as we're not taking it and reselling it. It's not a for-profit venture. As long as we're, kind of covering our bases with no gross negligence, we're good when it comes to that. And so, honestly, I think the largest one is fear out there.
When I asked Fox if she thought there was more that restaurants could do to reduce their food waste, she said they should donate food. She told me oftentimes a restaurant will begin donating a lot of food to 12 Baskets, but once they see how much food they're wasting, their donations decrease dramatically. She said she sees this as a good thing.
They start donating to a place, they might notice, hey, we're giving them 3 pans of macaroni and cheese, every week. Why do we keep, overcooking 3 pans, and that might go down.
Restaurant food waste occurs at many levels, including the distribution, retail, preparation, and consumer levels. Thankfully, Asheville is unique in that many of its restaurants are conscientious of their waste. When choosing your next restaurant, consider researching the business's sustainability efforts. As consumers, we have the right and the ability to enact change by voting with our dollars.